gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show by people. Billies, our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will happen under God blue skies. I love it make people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Billies, yeah. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play a role, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait? It's a time calling. It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show, my people. Billies, our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will happen under God blue skies. I love it that people get victimized. Let's work together for better.
Good morning, Billies. Welcome to the WUB Wake Up Billies morning vibes for today, Monday, the 12th of May, 2025. Wherever you are, we hope that your morning is getting off to a beautiful start. We're glad that you have started your day with us here at 3304 Amandala Drive. We are ready for the business of conversation, and that's what we do. I'm Mose Hyde, and warm welcome to everybody that's listening to Creme Radio, those watching us on XTV, those getting us, of course, via our social media streams, getting us on our apps, getting us on our simulcast coverage. It's always great having you here. We hope that as you got up this morning, you have great health, which is truly a very special thing to have, a very precious thing to have. We hope that your energy level is high and, of course, your vibrations are positive and that you've got enough space in your morning to spend some quality time with us. And, of course, we're very interested to hear what you've got to say, as that's what the space is designed for. It's Wake Up Billy's Morning Vibes. And as you should know, if you've been around here before we jump into the deep end, we get a little bit of warm-ups in. We've got your morning news for you. A quick look at what's making headlines on this Monday morning. Usually we have the weather forecast, but it seems the National Meteorological Service is experiencing a little bit of problems on their technical end, as there's nothing available on their website for this morning. If that is resolved before the morning is out, they're sure to tell you what the weather looks like. So right now, we could describe the weather forecast as pending. As soon as we get that worked out, we're going to get that to you. But for now, we jump right into the morning news.
Radio in Belize since 1989. Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
Two men have drowned in rural Corozal after their boat capsized in a lagoon near Caledonia on Friday. They have been identified as Martin Serrano and Ricardo Gutierrez. Reports are that three men went out fishing in the vessel when it overturned in the lagoon. The third fisherman managed to swim to safety while Serrano and Gutierrez failed to surface. The other fishermen went for help in nearby Caledonia and Buena Vista, and a search party was formed. The party searched into the night unsuccessfully. The search resumed early Saturday, which resulted in the discovery of the body of Serrano around 5 a.m., followed by the body of Gutierrez around 9 a.m. Police are investigating. Since April 11th, San Pedro Town started tackling the sargassum problem by turning on 2 specialized harvesters that are intended to gather and rid the sea of the brown seaweed before it reaches the beaches. Since then, these modified equipment, which are under the management of the Holchan Marine Reserve, have been used to collect seaweed close to the island's urban area. While the harvesters were supposed to reduce the amount of work, the amount of seaweed washing up on the coast has turned out to be too much. The San Pedro Town Council has responded by announcing a sargassum emergency and is recruiting more staff to help clear the downtown beaches of the algae. This will enhance the group already hired by the SPTC, who clean the beaches daily. On Saturday, a memorial tombstone monument was dedicated just outside the San Ignacio Kai on the site of the fatal road traffic accident on December 8, 2024, where 10 lives were lost. The monument is a collaboration between San Ignacio and Santa Elena Town Council and Keller Williams Realty. At the unveiling and dedication ceremony, family and friends of those who were lost were in attendance. Those who wanted to leave a special note was able to do so via a rock painting station. The painted rocks were then placed around the monument. On Friday, Prime Minister Honorable John Briceño gave an update on the cases before the International Court of Justice involving Belize, Guatemala, and Honduras over the country's boundaries. The PM said he was advised that the judgments could be made during this current term of his administration. The PM says he's confident that Belize will retain her entire territory following the ICJ's decision. That ends our morning news update. We'll take ourselves a small break. When we come back on the other side, we're going to open up for the business of conversation. We'll be right back.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. The news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Years ago, we built a company that is about more than just connection through technology. We've been partners in progress, empowering communities, nurturing growth, and strengthening bonds. We've grown together, lifting not just businesses, but dreams, not just communities, but families. Because true success isn't measured in years, but in the lives we've touched, the opportunities we've created, and the connections we've made together.
As a smart customer for the past 18 years, they have provided me with exceptional value and connected me to the most significant moments in my life.
For 20 years, Smart has been a pioneer in telecommunication innovation, from offering services in underserved areas to launching promotions that increase your connectivity.
They go beyond calls. They're committed to a brighter future for us all. That's why I'm proud to stand behind them.
As we look ahead, our mission to enrich your lifestyle with affordable, innovative, and cutting-edge wireless communication solutions is stronger than ever. We'll continue to connect what matters most, you. Smart, celebrating 20 years of bringing people together.
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose, Hyde in the house with you on this Monday morning, 12th of May, 2025. And WB doesn't change. We are open for conversation, and that means we've got a phone line on the desk. The number is 280-5848. That is the direct line where you are able to participate in this very inclusive process where we hope to secure your thoughts and contributions. We've got this window to do it on weekday mornings. First off, I got to say a big thank you to Sister Yaimari Coleman, who's been holding the seat and holding the fort on the mornings that have not been on the show, which is over a month. I have not been on the WB, so it feels almost, would I say, like, not strange, but it's been a little while. I, of course, I'm very thankful that Sister Yaya was able to, and in her style and her vibes, just hold things and engage in conversations which are very substantive, very serious, and very relevant. And of course, to make sure that this portal remains open for you to get in and express your views on topics that you want to express them on. All right. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's always stuff to go on. I have so much mornings that topics have come, and some are still with us, and some have come and gone. I want to start off by just recognizing and paying tribute to one of our early on-air personalities here at Creme Radio, who passed away. I believe it might have been a week and a half ago, thereabouts. And that is our brother Joe McGann, who passed away. His family had reached out. And for those who are new to Creme Radio, that's maybe not a name that is familiar to you. But to those who are, what I say, their own name days there, the foundation days, Joe McGann used to host a weekly show. He's originally from Jamaica. He made Belize his home. A man who loved music, and it's he's a professional. He's not a DJ or anything like that. He is a professional man. The last time I engaged with Joe, he was at the 5 C's, in fact. So I actually met him a couple of times when we went on the COP for the climate change conferences. So that was his work, but his passion, I believe, was music. And in those early days of Creme Radio, he really played some very serious music here on a weekly basis. And so while he's not done that for years with us, we have great memories, and we offer our condolences to his family on his passing. Certainly caught me by surprise. I was not aware that he had fallen ill, but we just want to just pay that respect to Joe and thank him for his contributions, which those days we had, when Creme Radio started, we had people who were your regulars who were earning an e-stipend, and then we depended a lot on people who came in and did voluntary work, who covered shifts and made sure we had full programming. And he was one of those persons that volunteered his time to play music on Creme Radio, and we are extremely and forever be grateful for that work that was done. Rest in peace, Joe McGann. So I had called in on the passing of my brother and Punta Rock star artist Consigo. I really was kind of abbreviated by the host, but I just want to again, it's been over at least now, I believe, almost going on towards 2 weeks since we've lost Consigo. But I still want to just express my condolences to his family. And then, as a matter of, again, things that I have to do, I have to congratulate publicly Marco Lopez on winning the Journalism Award in 2025 for his article Code Red. Obviously, we are at Zinc, very Zinc Fence. We are very proud of the achievement as somebody who considers himself to be a colleague of Marco, a brother. On a personal note, very proud. And when we interviewed Marco about the article, when the article had come out, and still a very relevant and very important article, I kind of pressured him, as I've done in private conversations, that his story is one that has to be told, but it is his story to tell. I pressured him to say that his story is of immense value to the community from which he has come. And so I hope that that day is coming near when Marco is going to tell you a little bit about himself, a little bit about the road that he has traveled. He's an extraordinary young man, extraordinary young brother, and he's in the midst of accomplishing extraordinary things as a result of his commitment and his character and his strengths. But he was reluctant. He says he believes that he's got a lot more to do before he reaches the point where he's going to put that story out. And we have to respect that. That's his right. And that's the way I see it. But I think that as we watch our young brothers struggle to find purpose, especially our young brothers here in Belize City, and especially in Southside, and especially our young black brothers, it is critical for them to be able to see those and for them to get inspiration, right? And for them to see that people who are from the same communities, who have been able to navigate very difficult, challenging environments, and to find something to hold on to. Inspiration, every human being needs to be inspired, that's the way we are wired. We look around, and the things we do are based on things we've been inspired to be involved in. We are inspired yesterday, of course, or over the weekend, because now there's this whole dispute about whether Mother's Day is on the 10th or it's the second Sunday, all of that. It doesn't matter. Every day is Mother's Day, right? The bottom line is that, we are often inspired by our parents or mothers or fathers or family members. We're inspired by athletes. We're inspired by performers. We're inspired. That's how we build a vision for what we want for ourselves. So inspiration is very important. And inspiration hits hardest when we can connect to somebody, when we can see commonality, and we know, okay, for we energy and for we background, and we can connect. And that is the power of an inspiring story. It is extremely precious. And so while we, colleagues, workmates, and there was a time when Marco worked here, worked at the TV, worked at the newspaper, was the editor of the newspaper. Of course, we are proud. I feel it's beyond that. I feel that Marco Lopez's accomplishment is something that Southside Belize City should really know about and be very proud of. And of course, I salute his family. I salute, those who might not be aware, he's he's a part of a family that is football royalty. His father and his uncle are well-known footballers in their time, Massive Lopez, Benedict Lopez. So there is that heritage as well. But we definitely look forward to the day, Marco, when it is that you are going to be comfortable just telling your story and having people understand the road that you've traveled. Big up yourself, big respect. Had to just put that on. Again, the telephone number is 280-5848. And even if you do not mean it, I think it's a decent thing for somebody may do that Carolina at least just welcome me back to the house. I mean it. Even if you don't mean it, I think the decent thing, if you don't even feel that way, it would be decent to at least pretend I feel. Sister Yaya has done such an extraordinary job that I am not needed, and that's cool. But at least say, well, yeah, Mose, yeah, you're back, okay. You don't think so? I think so. I think I may at least reach out and do that. I want to thank the people, and I want to thank those who reached out and were like, yeah, we need to get back on the show. The time is soon when there are different faces that will hold this and different voices that will hold this, right? So it's not like we have to block the way for the new talent and the new energies, and that's always been the way back at the zinc, right? But right now, I'm still there. I could check this. Hello.
Morning, make a call and tell her I happy say you come back. I don't have to get out of my bed early, and it's a note say I happy you come back and I can watch you for WB. Real talk, brother. You deserve the time off. I think for lots of we really know understand the pressure what you under. You're a brother, one is the wrong long, and there's only one more side as far as I can tell. That's the piece where I want to find WB. So you don't have to beg people call you. We are calling because we're glad you come back.
Listen, sister, I appreciate it, enough love, but you not come in a regard where they say, I say, then people are, you mean they can't at least fake it and say, obviously that I want to thank you. I just to make people understand that it was not really like I was not on a vacation. It really was. There's a lot of things that we are trying to. Well, a lot of things we're trying to fix, and a lot of things we have to try to deal with in the background, under the hood, as they say, under the bonnet. The engine itself. It's always been challenging, but it's a very challenging time for us in 2025, and we have to focus on make sure that the engine that this works, because it's an important institution and an important role that we feel this process plays, and we are, and of course, as you would often look back and say, those who have laid the foundation for this would expect no less, and so responsibilities are huge, and the ability to be able to just try to focus on that for a bit of time was important, because as you know, when you're doing this conversation, it takes a certain amount out of you, and we have to be able to kind of step back and look at how we can make our operation more stable. I don't want to get into all of that, but that you are here, I just wanted to say that it really was not just, it wasn't a thing where, which I wish it was, that I was on a boat fishing for the past month. That would have been great, right? Can't believe I'm even not one day of fishing, but the bottom line is though that the time is good. I also want to say that while you say that you want to see Mose Hyde on WB will become something has to change, has to move on, has to find its own growth. And so there will be changes to the formula, and there will be changes to the energies that we have in. That's a part of what happens naturally, I feel. And so we have to, I don't want to make it seem like I know I'm there with a walking stick, sister. So our walking stick days, they come very close, I could tell you that.
I hear you, brother, and changes consistent, but that is of my because, you know, I tell them for readers, you know, when I'm there, so believe me, some people don't watch WUB because they want to know it.
Yeah.
And I see it too.
Yeah.
So,
can I be honest? Can I be honest? So it's not, personally, this is the first time, and this might be unpleasant to some, this is the first time I've been away and I've not had that burning to be, to that, yeah, and I feel that that's a sign that that's a sign that, you know, not that I don't want to be a part of the conversation. I think that maybe I want to do it in a different way, in a different process. As you know, the early morning thing is a significant thing, but it's the first time that I did not feel that. Not that I was not paying attention and I've not really been keeping up and know a lot of the things going on, but in the past, whenever I've been away for a while, you know, there was this burning thing to want to get back in the space because you want to be in it, and I did not feel that this time around. So that is something to recognize. That's something to take note of, and it's maybe the most. I'm just being honest, right? So yeah. But I want to thank you again because, as you know, we are brothers and sisters, but we got a different energy wave, right? We got a different wave, a different approach, and nobody could ever give Sister Yaya one script. So when Sister Yaya hosts, it's because we know, okay, it's like, okay, you want to get that flavor ice cream, or you want to get that one different flavor, different spice, different level of heat when you have Sister Yaya in the space. But at the same time, the foundation still remains authentic, and we know that we could sleep good that morning, know that Sister Yaya got that. No matter where going away, we're good. So that are the part very important, right? So respect.
Respect, Lord. Thanks for the reasoning.
Yeah, man.
And I hear loud and clear, and we as the listeners and viewers need to really give people space to grow and be. And so I really appreciate your honesty. You know, really heartbroken, but I appreciate your honesty that you have to be true to yourself. And I encourage you to talk about, we're talking about Martha Lopez, and we're talking about people where inspire. The moments like this when somebody, not everybody made the host, like, if they say that ever hear it, ever say what you just said just now, but say, you know, I have to be real. So, you know, I know all if I would don't want to stick, and the time may come when, you know, changes have to happen. So for the, not only for you, but for the good of the operation, and if it's their way, things are changed. Respect Mose, thanks for all the years I'm working with. As long as it's for the year, we will enjoy it.
Give thanks.
One love.
That still don't mean though, Sister Yaya, that, you know, you do your thing, but I mean to tell me that we still not get one where I say a non-team member, if you say welcome back idiot. It's like, if that, even for that you have to say, you know, if that's how you feel, but at least make our brother feel that, yeah, we never have to do that yet, but you just have to mention that the number 2805848 now. Obviously, there's been things that are there to be dealt with. We have state of emergency is back. Of course, that is the number one go to move, but we have a call. Krem, good morning, WB.
Yes, good morning. Welcome back, Mose Hyde.
Give thanks, brother.
For the past 6 weeks, it was an adventure to learn more about black culture too at the same time. So you changed the program around and flip it up, which made it exciting and everything. So yes, I love that 6 weeks that you took off too, because I learned a lot about myself as a black person. Yes, sir. I didn't know about your Lopez work with you guys at Crim Station.
He doesn't work here anymore. He doesn't work here anymore, but he used to work here, and he wrote, and he used to be the editor, in fact, of the Amandala. I believe he might hold a record for the youngest person to be the editor of the newspaper, and he used to work in the news at the TV station. And the article that he wrote was under the published by the Amanda newspaper. So it's it's something that we are yeah.
Oh, he got skills. He has skills because I know him a little bit. So Benedict Lopez, I played ball with Benedict Lopez. I know Massive, his older brother. If you live in Belize City, you know Massive because he mostly played in Belize City teams like Coke. And
Yeah.
So
he's a massive son, not a Benedict son, a massive son, but respect. Respect.
I can get this bus up this call, so I'm gonna do a call when I get to school, sir.
You do your thing, brother. You have to do your thing. Yeah.
I have a good day.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Yes,
yeah, this is WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, and I agree with the caller. I think while I say caller, welcome me back. I think you should all. I wait with the caller do that also. Why never do it directly in a indirect way? Salute what Sister Yaya brought to the conversation, and thank big up. That also a decent thing for do, an honorable thing for do, right? Give respect. Prem, good morning, WB.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. You could lower the volume on your radio, your TV. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, man.
Look like over a month now, man broke down on outside of me. Did not damage the light. The car is going over. Man, it stopped. Get that juice hold and light up the place, and this man get killed on the street. Every time they tell me next 2 weeks, the last man I called a week ago, the man asked me for my light bill. I guess, so I don't send the proof number. One man get killed on the street, both go home, this is about the light up the light and the place, and people go walk with them dog. The man wants some extra outside. He wants to raise money to repair the light. I wouldn't for the but I'm some man trying to do something about how money. No, the house broke down, the light cut off. The place dark the night, a man get killed on the street already.
Where are the streets, sir? Where are the streets, sir, Andy?
Nursery Street.
Nursery Street.
Yeah, man, right on Nursery Street.
And the.
But I don't understand how we ignore won't give him and won't give the card for something and just say, no, I'm going to get on it and tell you how beautiful the place is, so wonderful. This beautiful jewel of all, one piece of jewel, one thing of beauty for us. One thing of beauty. When the door gets up on the street, you will remind the entire house outside. That bus stop I built on Central American Boulevard, clean and the one with the foundation of the new bus.
The what? The what?
The building outside, so the thing was outside, clean and building of the new bus. I'm being checking every time to clean my drain. The man comes and says, go and tell me and give me that code if I clean me. You know, then tell me that code because I would like the judge, I'd appeal for the judge come and look for my drain and tell me that I do wrong for cement my game. I mean, what is it going on? Instead of when a man build a house, you encourage them. If you fix your drink and so and give one year tax free. Encourage people to develop the place rather than penalize them, man. Come in. We only talk about these things and people just ignore it like, you know, idiot. They look down for people like it's simple. You know, we don't look back on the past to dwell there. We look back on the past to know where we come from and we know where we want to go. I mean, because we talk about this doing about and we really think old people like my idiot, man. You come here and you tell that you put on a happy like on dog, man. What's going on in the country? People that are behind the scene, the work of independence, you know. You remember people that like guns in New Capital. We're going in and New Capital for work and so today I meet people that was against New Capital and New Capital about this. Man, why, when you have to get it, why are you going to pay for that? I mean, how you like this place so much? Come on, man, look back on the people that are behind the scene, the work the real fun, the real fun, people bring a new rate and doing the sell that to pay money, go give it a price to support the worker independence. Come on, man, after we get independence, the first thing we do is change government on people who never want independence. And now, then they enjoy the streets, man, and they punish the people who work to help the country get by the state. Remember when we changed government after 84? They want to change the name of the government, they want to change the acting, they want, how can they want to change the governor general? Come on, man, look back, and then we sit down and decide where we want to go, and then we go there, man. Look at the kids, what would they do with the kids up on the street back? We had all the ministers, they had some different areas that were little biting or so. Before everyone sees, we have to pay us about 18. So they book that up, man. We destroy the technical school, man. We destroy the nursing school, man. Come in, we talk about free education, talk to them by the year, but why we got free education? Why we can't go to school hungry? And I know that from my experience. When we talk about some of the things that they hurt people, man. They get hurt here. People take advantage of women, and you can't sue a minister. You can't pass on. I have to sue a minister, but I have to go to another program. I see Mr. Hyde. You know? But one thing I used to go up there, no thanks to the Prime Minister, this Prime Minister can't talk to her. You can't talk to no minister. When last you have a sport, one billion game. 1991, boss. You know, the night that today we just left the sports. Sports don't do we have a minister of sports. We are actually interested in sports. We make open up the list of Mr. Pitts. We don't open it yet, man. We don't open it yet. And a man did put a life to sports. I have never gone anywhere in sports. I was chief of mission and I can't keep it. $1,000. So the day they looked at me, I can't. Roger Stadium and Roger Stadium down this baseball. Now remember when softball and the king, softball and the queen of the league ball, softball took the league for the Melbourne and Public defeat United States Rebels 2-1. I mean, what do they do? They put it, how can I paint them by the time they run to the girls there? Run to the girls there. Dugal, Brenda Johnson, and Pat Bennett, all of the girls in that Swift, the Queen of Kamalote. Well, I mean, why did this guy spoke so? What would they do with the kids there, boss? The kids have got no respect, no cleanliness. We used to teach cleanliness at school, boss. Cleanliness is next to godliness, man. Come on, man. We could do something for the kids there, man. We could do something for the kids there, man. I'm preparing a place to buy here. If on the radio they talk about, nobody knows the thing, but when they do anything for the kids, people look down by them, they go crazy. And I never had the chance to play nothing, but I never used to play marble, run and raise on kite. And when I start to make one the money I start investing in sports because sports them and discipline. You have to discipline the kids them, man. Discipline the kids them to face life. Come on, man. Mr. Mose. Talk about some of the things you got to talk about, Bob.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, you punish people, man. You punish people now, man. All right, so continue another day.
Give thanks, Sir Randy. Give thanks.
Talk to me, man.
Give thanks. Give thanks.
All right.
Give thanks. Yeah, man. Sir Randy, it's a voice of a Belizean icon. So we just listen and hear and learn and respect. And your guidance that make we talk as much about these things where not get the attention. And we try, but we also need a guidance, also need a reminder, also need the instruction to follow through and stay the course. So give thanks always whenever you call, Sir Randy. Again, the first part of Sir Randy's call is the promptness with which you are able to get, and in his case, a senior citizen to get, in the case of the EL utility company, to respond to something that, we have a call. Krem, good morning.
Yes, sir, morning.
Good morning, sir.
Sure, the same one time I talked to Miss Marsha, we do the Montfield Carnival. She said she may have a day. And I always say, people would do good for the youth thing. Rhyme and spoon, sacred, the lead bucket covered with the stick, the stilt, marble, cup. Bring one day with the youth, they could listen to a tablet and half of the TV and come in and let them stage on right there up on the south side. Anyway, what I wouldn't feel it. I do a thing. They don't do that, brother. They don't do that. What can I pick on over the hell that is leave rim with a bicycle rim and the stick? You know, the stilts you walk on. Come on, man. This generation is gone, brother. Gone. Not too many to understand. They're going to respect. Shot my pants in the ass and the girl in the shoe there. She can be this generation gone, brother. We need to tighten up. We need to bring back the ideas of play together as well. I would share things at school, car song with biscuit where I deal. One time people get big now, they turn around, doctor, police, and chief, they turn against each other. They feel like they're too big. You understand me? I got a couple of them at school, but they feel like, you know, they're the top of the world. They forget where they come from. When you ask them, they're going to go to school, they're going to donate to hear what the teachers say. You know, come on, man, give back. Do good.
Give thanks, brother.
Yes, sir.
WB, the telephone number, 280-5848, and we invite you for link and call and express yourself. So listen, before we go to the break, because we're going to take a break shortly, let me just quickly just echo what Sir Randy is complaining about, at least in his initial concern. So apparently there was the light from off a lamppost, so the lamppost itself has been the work, and so he's been calling BEL to get them to address that, but they have not done so as yet. Krem, good morning, WB.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, brother, that's what I advise to the teachers now. I'm going to negotiation. Go with an open mind, with a firm stand. Because many times they go to this negotiation and nothing come out for them. Nothing come out of negotiation. Then they go on and next year or two and nothing happens. Go to this negotiation with a firm stand. And come out of here and we sit down and the people start there and this time and that staff thing, not go there so. And then brother, nothing to feel. Then they raise their pay, they're not a joke. Money the rule from the side, they don't take it. I work for the teachers, and so I know I'm a mechanic, but I work for the people, and I know I have to ease up when it comes to the teachers because I really don't have it. I have to work with them. So I know when they go through, I know how they turn up to their kids. they tell straight up. Go to them, me not pay with them, brother. And it's especially to Mr. Hyde. You have to ease up and make them and stop to use you. So they'll kind of use and use all the time thing like this. Why the Prime Minister not go on the table? You know the Minister of Finance? You know the main one who should have been on the table? But they loan use Cordell and Cordell. But yeah, man, the teacher I need a raise, man. I think nothing really happened. Teachers that they tell you no, public officers start to stand up there. Because out can work. I got my gas mode the other night. One of the workers tell the place, tell me, brother, I go home, I take my break and I come back. He said, gas raise, and I know. Then the people in the gas station no gas just to raise and raise just like that. This country has nothing to play with more out there wrong. And they tell you, prices are good, they don't know play out there. I don't see how the sanitation workers, especially the make it. And then people are rough. And then brother, I have done get 70,000 a year. And still they get 15% raise. I want somebody to get 18.5% raise. What's the amount of money that they make? And then they complain. And you got people that have any curve, anything. And that's the state silence and they take their liquor. And then brother, I got it good. And then they borrow so we want more. Because you know enough to eat. What kind of government you have? When you see that people have done got it good, and yet you give them more, and people have got nothing, they struggle, and you punish them people about instead of you say no man. And I blame all the ministers most, because they encourage it because if I was there, I would tell you, and I say, man, if this will happen, I want to resign. I don't do my people any. I don't see my people that suffer, and we want to take them there, we is there. And we stand up with our CEO. All of them stand up with their CEO. Not one of them said, no, it's not work. So all of them encourage it. If they are your representatives, but they don't have no shame, that's what I see. I may have stepped down. That's why I don't join the organization anymore, because I want to make my stand. I don't play that. I don't like chances, people. And then when I have chances, brother Mose, when you look at it, a real chance. And they tell you, then they get all their pubs, car allowance, telephone allowance, entertainment, all kind of allowance. Still want more, my brother. Don't greed, only could breathe it. Knowing the law, when it happens at the bottom, people, they take it. Much days I go there, but I can't get to purpose, I go and work and hungry. I have to try to help people. Please, but I can't get the money to buy a pack bread to go home. They don't know why you up on the ground, right up on the ground all my life. This is how people feel. And then when I have it, brother Mose. Still want more. It's a shame. They don't got no mind. Serious, brother. When I think about them, Mose, I tell you, serious, they can't talk to me. I tell you, they call on me. And they say, sir, the CEO of the Ministry of Education, they already said it. And if I know, you don't see everybody. But you know today, and they still want more. They're sick, my brother. They're sick. So teachers go on the table with an open mind, with a firm stand. And they tell you, no, not a laugh with them people are. The union, not a laugh around the table, tell them, Mr. This and Mr. That. Stand up, serious. Tell you, no, that's what I take it, you know. They are telling you, well, in a 6 months' time, you have to know what we could do. And maybe we'll go down, you raise about 2% to about so much yards, and we'll get hamburger, you know. That's the way they are doing, you know. They are telling you they can't afford it, but they could afford today. They could get it any time with a stroke of a pen for them people. You don't have to negotiate. When they raise the pay, they don't negotiate, you know. After I raise the CEO, pay, make a come on the table and discuss it. No. But they have discussed one raise no wrong on the table. So I tell you now, seriously, make my firm standing in this country so I take it like how I already take it.
All right, my brother. All right. It's 24 minutes after, well, actually 25 minutes after 7 o'clock, and obviously it's a that is one of the, what I say, the biggest things happening right now. The negotiation, and well, not the negotiation, the fact that the BNTU, the Belize National Teachers Union, keeping true to its tradition as being one of the most, strongest union in the country, had a tremendous showing on Friday. But before we go to break, let me just finish up and say that just so that BEL or anybody from BEL where they listen, so that they say, well, maybe we never aware of something, never aware of a call and a concern. I just want to just repeat it on the record that we haven't called, no conference, they're not prank call. It's coming from no less than a Belizean icon, Sarandi, the happy home builder, Yell the man. If you don't know where it is, they're right on Bayman Avenue and between Bayman Avenue and Nursery Street. And they make the complaint about lamppost on Nursery Street. He has given the number of the lamppost. In his report, he said that he has called multiple times and yet nothing has been done. You might be busy to do all manner of things, but if somebody they mention and they be one good citizen, they take it upon themselves to say that something has happened, it reflects very poorly on the company. It reflects very poorly on its seriousness and focus if it doesn't have the time to pay attention to something you might think it's frivolous, but when a light stop work, that's a hazard. That's a safety and security hazard. And we are fair to expect that in a fairly reliable and prompt enough time period, there will be a response. So I know they call BL, they ask for a discount on light bill. You know they call to get a donation from BL. Where they do that, be one good citizen. Reporting, helping the company, because we don't got eyes everywhere. So we need citizens to feel comfortable for call and report, oh, a lamppost broke, or one transformer this, or one light stop work. That's a citizen playing their part. And now the company has the responsibility to honor that and reciprocate and collaborate and actually make people feel comfortable and confident that BL hear you and respond. So it might seem like, oh, we don't have to deal with that right now. We got pressing thing. We do this, we do that. We have to go fix this, we have to go fix that. When light stop working, you get a complaint, attend to it. We are attend to a break right now and come back. Of course, we have so many things to discuss. That's the way the WUB works. But right now, we're going to go to 2 Cents Scam, sponsored by 4 Point Security, and then we're going to come back after the first break of the morning. All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's Monday morning, the 12th of May, 2025. Mose Hyde in the house on this Monday morning. And our telephone number, 280-5848. That is the direct line for you to participate in the conversation. Want to get you on board and hear your thoughts, and hear your views. And of course, one of the big issues right now, in light of the CEO salary increase, the BNTU and the PSU have initiated the process of demanding a salary increase for their members and also a demand for the minimum wage to be increased. The BNTU showed how serious it is and how united it is in this cause with a tremendous showing on Friday in Belmopan. And now, of course, we hear about the government's position. For me, one of the things that I feel that is critical here, but we have a call. Krem, good morning.
Yeah, what about here?
You're on the air, sir.
Morning.
Good morning.
Boss, I hear what you say with this whole conversation with teachers and that's what to give me to China, you can only hear it. More, I've witnessed personally they are being on the streets every day. I've witnessed that where end up the face some serious challenge down the stretch. I mean way down the stretch in the educational system when it comes to our new generation, right? But Friday I take a lead tour by different schools, you know, and you know teachers and they're not my presence because they're going to protest. But besides I get into one of the one big up teachers and teachers week, right? I think some teachers big so I'm big up on that. But there were students in the class but no teachers. And I have to say that if the teachers they know they were going for the strike as they usually do, at least I'd have tell parents to get the students at home. I don't know where you say that. You know?
Yeah, what I understand and what is usually the case, brother, is that there is a process where the respective managements and the ministry is informed about what the teachers are going to do. Now, what the then respective managements and the ministry does in regards to telling parents to keep their children at home and when exactly they do that is, again, I don't know when and if that was done. If it is that parents send their children to school on that day, then it means that that information was not shared in time. But I do know that it's never the case that the BNTU is going to go on a protest action and that they would do that without informing the people about what is going to happen. I believe it was public knowledge before Friday, or before the protest, that they were going to be in Belmopan. But there's also going to be that communication that takes place between the union and the ministry, and again the respective school managements. That happens.
Well, according to some of the students that I talked to, some of them explained to me that they informed me that they could find out about the teachers telling that the school are open, but we are not going to be here. That comes some of the students. You get what I'm saying? And the students. So, but talking to parents as well, parents they are on board, you know. But I would say that for me personally, that's my views and my opinions, that these teachers, they sit down at the table too much back and forth with both political parties. You know, with both political parties. And I don't know, like Belizean citizens don't know how serious it's really serious, and you know, the effect, the effect it could cause for some of the new generation, because remember you got see that different exam when I come up and sometimes they may not look good. And it goes back to age like this. No, I don't share nothing with the teachers, you know. But how long they go sit down at that table and sit down with people where about anyone these small hands and tell them down the stretch where I hear the rest. And you come back to the table again. I mean, this has been going on for a while now. You know, the language teachers that they shed tears to one of these small hands. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
So there was thing where I watched head of plan, you're mixed up with generation. You're mixed up serious.
I know, agree with that. It's an argument that has been used before to kind of discourage the BNTU. The fact is that there is very little the children being. I think it really comes down to, and I believe again based on history and my experience, that the BNTU as a body is very cognizant that they are partners with parents, and what we have seen in the past is that once it is the parents feel that the teachers are just in what they are asking for and protesting for, that for the most part parents are silent partners to that protest, in silent agreement very often, because the parents will not be at the protest, but the parents have to carry a part of the responsibility because they've always had to support. If the parents of children were to say, listen, the teachers are wrong, then it would be the union would find itself in a very difficult position. I feel that the union has always been conscious and has always acted with that consciousness that they need to make sure that they present an argument not just to themselves but to their partners in the education effort. They know that the children, that parents will have to, if there's a need, if they end up, let's say they go on a strike, because Friday was not a strike, it was just a protest action. But if teachers are in a position where they decide that they have no other alternative but to go on strike, that strike will mean that parents will have to figure out something until the matter is resolved. If parents understand and are supportive, as they have been in the past, there is no problem, because parents understand, okay, this is the part that we will do. And I think previous instances, politicians have failed to recognize this, and they have failed to recognize that if you have a situation where the parents are saying we are supporting what the teachers are doing, then you can't come and complain about it, because you're not just dealing with the teachers, you're dealing with the fact that this is a community position, as it has been in the past, that the community has decided that they want for the teachers what it is they are demanding. And so that's how it's going to unfold here, like it has always unfolded. I can't believe that even though you might have new people who are leading BNTU, that the BNTU has lost its understanding of the lay of the land in that regard. I don't believe that. I am absolutely confident that they know that they have to communicate with parents, and that parents' support and parents' understanding of their issues is a critical part of their strength. Not just the internal solidarity, but that they require the community solidarity as has existed in the past. Yes, you're going to have people who disagree. In the past, we have had people who have complained, but it's not about whether or not you have some people who don't agree. It's whether or not the majority of parents say, listen, we're there with you. If that exists, then the government has to deal with the BNTU full on, and you can't, it's not like parents who say, oh, teachers going to play we wrong. I think that is an important thing.
Well, I understand, listen to me, Mose. I understand the sacrifice everybody has to make.
Yeah.
I understand the sacrifice everybody make, but I have to say no. who in their right mind as our government would want to have issues with educators and to them for a future generation? I mean to say, and this has been going on for a while, like I tell some teachers, all right, if we go on strike or protest or whatever we need to do, can't even make no man. One big ball game and get it over.
I know. No, that not work. That not work. You can't carry people, children down on protest action. That not work. But I understand your point where you make. But yeah, you open up by saying something that makes sense. Listen, my view on all of this, brother, is that this, you have to back up a bit here. But you finish off your point before I go on that. Because I want you to on the here, and my point kind of lengthy. You finish it.
My thing most is that as a society, daily issues there, right? Because people, I know people might think that you don't realize as how I might see, but I do every day, and I watch you get out of control then. You get out of control, and as a society, they kind of issues the most. I think we're supposed to solve their problem there. I think their problem there is supposed to be our problem where get out of hand. I mean, their teachers there, I know teachers who are going on a pocket over to prepare their classroom for every time school open. I know teachers who do that first and have the passion. And when they have the passion, when they have the teaching, right? So, I mean to say, it looks bad. And if we have our Prime Minister, whose wife was a teacher, I don't know what that is like that, but she know about the educational system. You mean to tell me your wife can sit down and come to a solution and just make it just dilute in the best way that everybody benefits? I mean, come on. We live in our society, we got gun issues. We got a lot of other important issues that we could focus on, and like, instead of we move forward as a country, it's like every time we try to like one room, I heal, one next one open up. Then there are things where, I mean, if you could recall good, we have this same Prime Minister where all the truck back, where used to walk in these teachers. We have oppositional walk in these teachers in support in the past. And this is what we can do. Now let's take move no way. And then the thing about it, Mose, the matter of cake. That cake they don't share it.
I mean the pie. Yeah. Cake pie.
You understand?
Yeah.
You understand, Mose?
Yes, sir.
The cake they don't do again. They have to make a new one. You no longer cake don't chop. So I don't know what people want. I like people know this, but they don't take it serious. I told the Prime Minister, take it serious. And don't make them know that I can't meet all the demands. The man tell them, right. So we'll be the next step now. That's what the thing is. We'll be the next step, and then I don't know how far exam day. The usual thing you are going to go through the time. I don't know how far that day. But again, when we have students where they know the past, they know I know everybody talk about sacrifice. I hear that, but to me, by the end of the day, the sacrifice to our really take, that the kids take the kid. To me, personally.
All right, brother.
I don't say don't get me wrong, please. I know what the teachers say. But a whole line, each one is one fact. You know what I'm saying? As our country and our Belizean citizens, we're supposed to be people. We are people. We never come from any type of generation background. We were not those type of people. So I just watch this every day, how they turn over. Only God knows where I lead. Because I belong to one thing. Just sit down and come to an agreement when everybody agree on and make it just dilute and work it out the best way it comes. You understand? That is my views and my opinion.
All right, give thanks.
You know?
Telephone number 280-5848. That is the live line to participate in the conversation. This is the WUB. Understanding understanding and reading the message, the important thing in our life, and reading our message and understanding what the message is. Because if you read our message and you get one different understanding, you want to deal your approach very well, could be very wrong, very off. I never there on year when it was revealed about the salary increase for the CEOs. But this is my view of it. It is based on a government who misinterpret the results of the election. That's my view. And the government interpretation of the election results are based on the fact that they felt so good, so quickly, give themselves one, we'll call one signing bonus, one nice fat signing bonus, is that their interpretation of election results is that, man, we did do good and we are loved for it. Now, when you look on the election results, it's a very successful election with serious margins of victories all over the place. One could look on it and say, if you want to interpret it that way, and you caught up with you to get hype on your own supply, you could say, well, man, that is what the government look on our results and feel. That the way the increase said to me, that the government and the people who are in power, who were successful with the last election, look and say, oh, everybody did with we, and everybody say how good we did do, and we did do great. And so if we are doing great, well, make we give yourself one leave bonus, make we give yourself one gift, because the election results essentially confirm where we may think anyway, we're good. And that's the one interpretation of the results. Now, other people look upon the results and could understand, well, no, that result they kind of misleading, for the obvious reason that this was just a complete anomaly as far as election goes. The first election we part, that almost you had one party running. In fact, in two of the divisions, this was absolutely, literally the case. The opposition party was in tatters. It was completely in shambles and still trying to figure itself and right itself. A government that looked on that election and somehow took out of it that it was an election result that says you are great, that one government where they completely deal with self-delusion. And to my mind, the salary increase is the direct evidence of that self-delusion. And that self-delusion is that we are doing great and we are loved for it. Look at the results. That's not real. Sorry, the results no real. You can't use the results and take the meaning out of it. You have to factor in the factors around the results. Again, people could write history how they want to write history. In fact, very often history is written how people want to be. They could pretty it up. It could be based on the narrative where you want. True, you could do that. And you could have your self-delusion. But the moment will come when your delusion will hit the reality. And that delusion hit the reality when the teacher is able to put out thousands of their members. And we need to remind you that the BNTU has been going through its own internal, the BNTU has not been as synchronized and as seamless and as cohesive as it has been in the past. It has been on some rocky waters. The fact that they were able to do that and to say, that you have with that this self-delusion, you have given great healing to the BNTU, which is the strongest union that we have in the country. It is the strongest. I will pause my point, take this call, and then go to break. Krem, good morning, WB.
Morning, Brother Mose.
Morning, sir.
I think a solution to this problem here with all and any government, any entity that is having a problem like with salary adjustment, it needs to be across the board. So let's say you give the CEO a 10-cent raise, everybody, whether government, public servant, getting 10-cent raise, then the problem is done. But if you give the poor people hard-back cheese, and you get a CEO and cream cheese, then now there's a problem there.
Yeah.
I think one raise across the board, so anytime any public servant gets a raise, everybody gets a fair raise. But they need to stop their cronyism.
Yes, sir.
Respect.
Give thanks. Just want to just put on to that the salary increase the government gave its CEO, the elite chosen political people of an elected government is the result of a delusional interpretation of the election results. Maybe it's what they want to believe. But now you're now facing the reality, because many of those people, I feel, in green shirts at that protest are people who voted in support of the government. You don't even come and say the people who were there, oh, that was a political thing. No, there is no doubt that I would have said at least half, but potentially more, of the people who were there in that protest voted in support of the present administration. But when you messaged to the country, who have been going through, as one caller pointed out earlier on, the huge strain of inflation, which had not been and has not been solved, and in various other nation states around the world, it caused governments to topple. The cost of living in various other nation states brought down incumbents. It's not been a time for incumbents. Incumbents have fell because of cost of living inflation issues, which, based on what's been going on with the trade wars, is not going to get better. And so people have been managing and struggling under that. But they understand and then they work with you, and then you run into the great fortune of having your primary opponents, the opposition party, falling apart, not being able to get mileage out of the stress and burden of inflation. But that doesn't mean it wasn't there, and it isn't there, and the people have not been dealing with it. But to some extent, election had one option for them. That's how they viewed it. But then you came out of that, and your first administrative initiative that the naked eye could see, that's self-serving. And you done gone and open up a can of worms. And in my view, you open up the can of worms, you're going to deal with the real. The only concern I have is that the BNTU is doing what the BNTU has to do. It's looking out for its members. But the BNTU, as strong as it is, and yes, they are direct employees of the government, but they are not the only ones to whom you have messaged that things nice. They are like what? 6,000, 7,000 teachers. There are over 150,000 tax-paying people in Belize. And at the end of the day, one of the concerns I have is BNTU is doing what it's supposed to do. PSU, they're looking out for themselves. They're looking out, well, listen, we've been facing inflation. We've been dealing with these realities. If that is to go on, well, we want in. But we have 150,000 other people where have a conversation for have with the government as it relates to that increase. And so while the BNTU has chosen and the unions have chosen to say, well, if that they go on, I want in, the question has to be, so what are we saying? That we will not demand that this is not what you're going to prioritize, that the whole conversation about what I think would have been the call from the 156,000 people who are part of the labor force is that no, you can't do that. Yes, the majority are not directly employees of the government, but we're all paying to that. And whatever happens comes out of what is being paid by the people who are the taxpayers of the country. So while the BNTU and the government is a natural product of a government that was caught with, selling its own story and believing its story, and now it has to deal with the reality of its employees, a major part of its employment force, saying, well, don't also that going, because we have been struggling, we have been dealing with the impact of cost of living increase, we've been dealing with that, and if things are nice, well, we want in. That's a natural response from the BNTU and the PSU. But they are not the only ones who have a responsibility to have a say as to what the government has chosen to do. So the question is, well, what is our position? Everybody else. So that is the mess that has been created because of self-delusion. Complete self-delusion. Complete. I don't know if it was a thing where you chose to be delusional, or you're delusional because you were just erroneous. You're just never paying enough attention. I'm not any kind of political expert for know that you can't look upon an election result and think too much of it. Like, you don't need to be an expert pundit. You don't need to be one graduate in political science. You don't need to understand electoral politics to any great degree. If you look on the elections of 2025 and know that them results there, you have to put one asterisk. You have to. No, rush, no go too fast with that. No jump to the wrong conclusion. So, it could be that uno just not really, I mean, like I say, you don't have to be some kind of genius here if you know that one asterisk business plan and results. But my conclusion based upon what we decide for do as one of the very first thing, you get higher from one supply. And that never works well. So this is not a, yes, the way that this has been framed, this is a, well, if you do this, we do that. But it's to ignore the context in which this is being done. People have been dealing with cost of living nightmare for a while. They've been struggling, they've been bearing, and to some extent, they have been very understanding and patient with this administration. But that was interpreted by the administration that, well, we are loved and people happy. And so we could take care of ourselves and leave it here. Give yourself a really nice thing here. Up it. They can leave bigger part of quote unquote pie cake. That was a historic misread, historic malpractice of just misjudgment, of just where you may think. We'll take a break and come back. All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Monday, 12th May 2025. Telephone number 280-5848. Mose Hyde hosting this morning, and it's good to be back and good energy from the people where they call in. Rate that. That's how this works. There's a matter that I feel has not been dealt with, but let me just take this call. Kevin, good morning.
Morning, Mose. Yeah, calling back. There's a conversation that we need to have as a community that if we didn't have it, I'm not here. In principle, I agree with BNTU. Them do what best for them teachers. I've had this conversation more than once. As parents, adults, guardians, we have failed our students and failed them for a period of time. And so has the teachers. The majority of our children, they get passed from class to class and they're not literate. We had a whole conversation that literacy is more than reading and writing. Now, we've been saying this publicly, but because I've worked with the school out of state by, and this is just one small example. As far as I know, we no longer have a literacy unit in the Ministry of Education. So the Ministry of Education, the management of schools, BNTU, principals, adults, and guardians of Belizean children have blamed humanity. So from that small sample that the St. Vice Primary School, and remember we only test one total of 143 students from standard 2 to standard 2. 63 other students that are 4 and 5-year-old level. 31 students at 6 and 7-year-old level. 22 students unable to read. 13 students that read at 7 and 8-year-old level. 13 students at 5 and 6-year-old level. And then check there at that time for, I think for fluency and 2 other things. My point is this, more. We have been failing our students, Lord, and there's no oversight. I've been intentional to talk with teachers. Things have changed in the Ministry of Education. There's no more literacy units. Because they don't have standardized tests, at least if I'm even safe, when they have the standardized tests and they want it to get good grades, the teachers don't have extra class. No, there's no requirement to standardize tests, so there's no extra class. There's no oversight. So my thing is, we the Belizean people, first off, with the parents, adults, we are responsible for our children. They're not active parent-teachers association. They're dead on arrival in a government-aided school. So we can't say parents support teachers because we don't know. We don't organize to final funding what that is position. So the teachers then just have free reign and most of them most teachers. The students they got colonial papers, but they never trained in a pedagogy in how to teach and then evaluated if they're effective. So most Belizean teachers, most of them, are not adequately doing what teachers do and are just the truth more. So we're going to get value for money as it relates to the taxpaying money, but teachers they get paid for. We're not. And we need to be honest and have this hard conversation. I refer to the Belize National Teachers Union. If we don't want the Belizean people feel, no, I don't got blame. So we to get value for money, show a part in each part now, they have one thing called literacy alive within the test standard 2 and standard 3 students. And that isn't as comprehensive as the other measuring tool where we use. And I think even right now, I don't actively work with the community group anymore, even though I organize it. What, for literacy, so then the test standard 2 and 3, so what happened to kindergarten, infant 1, infant 2, standard 1, standard 4, standard 5, standard. Nobody the test them for literacy. And when you go in and you check, there's limitation to literacy alive. But there's nobody having the conversation. You call Ministry of Education, you send, then just no response. That's a culture of this administration. They don't see no reason to come to we and have respectful conversation. And I never agree with the ministry when they said that the tone of BNTU letter was disrespectful. No. We're not used to nobody to put in our eye and tell you know, as adults, this is the way we accept, this is the way we don't accept, you know, the one weaponize the wording and say the tone never disrespectful. People
it's a huge problem, and a part of my concern is if I hire somebody to clean my house, for example, but I don't give them, or in this case, it's separate. If I am tasked with, somebody says, I need you to manage my house and estate while I'm away, and you become like the administrator of somebody's property, because that's what our government is. They are doing our work on our behalf. We paying the money, and they are to spend the money in a way to get the maximum results. But the manager of the estate hires somebody to go and take care, clean the house, deal with the yard and whatnot. But the manager does not provide the required cleaning agents and tools to do that, and does not, as you have pointed out, does not go and oversee the work that is being done. I feel that the place where the owner of the residence or property begins, and where is to say, listen, you have not managed my resources. I cannot come to the person who has been hired if that person has not been properly equipped and has not been placed with with the instructions as to, well, what is the highest priority and what we are going to do. It's really an administrative management issue, in my view, because you are not able, you don't have the authority to hold accountable someone that you are not equipping to do the work you've assigned them, and the assignment that you have given has not been structured in a way that represents the interests of the people on whose behalf you're working for. So if that person, as we've known, and it's nobody can dispute it, that the classrooms, just the outfitting of the classroom has become the responsibility of the teachers. Because they are subsidizing. That's what they're doing. As the people who have been hired, they are subsidizing. And so you are looking at a situation where before you can start to assess and hold accountable performance, we have to make sure that all things are right with what you're being provided, and absolutely a part of that has to be that we are compensating you fairly. Because when you're dealing with a private school, that is the way it is structured. Because in a private school, the burden of providing the physical parts of one is not on the teacher. The teacher is being held responsible for what is the performance, what is the end product, are the children learning and are becoming literate. So the scenario where you have here, yes, it's a huge problem. And in my view, it is a problem that requires, because what you experience in that particular village, I will tell you that one of the problems is that there is a significant disparity and a drop off from urban to rural space. Children in rural spaces, you will find that's an important data to try to track, because you will find a disparity there. Now, the concern I have with having this conversation right now is that, is it the time to have it? Because you could say, well, yeah, because now we are looking at what is fair compensation and what are our expectations, and if you're looking at that, then this is the time to do it. The problem with that is that you're holding somebody accountable at a moment when they're in a huge fight. Whenever a union takes on a fight, and in this case, this union is now fighting its employer, it's fighting the government, which is its employer, and that's a challenging time. That's a heavy lifting time to deal now with the issue of, am I being properly, fairly compensated, and how do I get there? So I feel that if you start to make the conversation about, okay, but we have some problems here. Okay, those are conversations we have to have. We have to have it with the BNQ. We have to have it with, again, the administrative problem does not only exist with the government. A part of the administrative problem, because we have a church-state system, a part of the administrative responsibility that with the respective school managements, and the extent to which, what is the highest priority of these managements? Is it to create potential people for the congregation, or is it to maximize the child's capacity and to enable the highest level of literacy for them to be able to function to have proper functioning critical thinking, and to be extremely productive and engaged? What is the priority, and how is that reflected in your interventions to make the performance be up to par? You have turned a blind eye. You can't tell me that at the level of the respective managements that they are not cognizant of the performance deficiencies that exist within their schools. They are very aware of it. And so indeed, I would agree with you that this is a challenge for all of us to engage, and for all of us to pursue the proper interventions and solutions, so that we do not essentially, what we're doing is we are putting a bag of stones on children, and we are limiting them, because we are essentially just passing them off, knowing well that we have not done the foundation, we have not laid the foundation, and that is a huge problem. But again, I feel, sister, that what's going on now, when you have a situation where a labor force which has been managing very difficult economic times, making sacrifices, and subsidizing the work period, have been have been messaged by their employer that we are about self and that's it. And their response is a natural one to say, well, what happened to us? That's my view of that, no? I don't know if any of that makes sense to you, sister, but that's just, I completely accept that this is a very huge problem.
I value having a reason with you more than having them publicly. And I think that it ties up with everything we had said earlier, right? The teacher has been at what? 7,000 out of 150,000. That tax, the Alphalesian people that go through hard time right now when it comes to the cost of living, while they wonder, so you know, sales as of the 13th of March, extra money, CEO and the cabinet secretary. So I just say, yes, I just right going to here, but I'm confident that I did talk to a lot of Belizeans. We're unemployed, underemployed. We are the majority. You're not here, we're not similar, we're not organized, but we are the majority. So I just say, this are the perfect, because everybody look out for the interest right now, the CEO, CapSec, teachers, well, okay, we won't even look out for ourselves, so it's at the perfect timing for we look out for ourselves, because we don't organize, so we just set up for we taxpayers' money, the PR of everybody else, so we money to pay them. So we just say, we don't get value for our money, we've been the same, but that is just try to say, okay, with the comfort that, I don't know, no other time than right now, let the Valley House doctor, because the whole education system was not designed to work for us, and it's not been working for us, for the teachers that they come back over and over again, the majority of our children not do well in school, because the system never designed. This is the time we say, okay, and remember the education budget might be the largest part of the national budget. We not get value for money. So make the whole thing work right now then. Make everybody work for, make all of us come to the table and say what best for everybody. Not just best for the teachers and the CapSec and the CEOs. What best for all Belizeans. It's not no when, it's not we who.
Yeah, so I hear that and respect to that. But once it is we enter that, we understand that we all have to look at self too, right? And as much as we have a failure of the management and administration, and we have issues with the labor force and its performance, we also have to look at the fact that parents have failed children. And again, I feel this is where the state has really failed, in that when we say, well, parents have failed, have we done any type of work to give guidance to parents as to what the expectations are and what their responsibilities are even before that child ever walks into a classroom? Because to a great extent, so much happens before a child is 3. As it relates to literacy, that is known, that your literacy literally begins in the womb. But now, what guidance has been given? Where has there been any visible intervention to say, what are you expecting of a parent in that time? What guidance? So we want them to be good at this. We want them to lay the first layer that's required, and then we have the performance of the teachers that will then build on that. Without that first layer, the work of the teachers becomes far more challenging, and they don't have you put them along with 40 to 50 students, and they are tasked to figure out, okay, we are going to have maybe 10 to 15 of that 50 that maybe have that layer, so they are responding well. But now you have 35 who don't have that layer, because in many instances maybe their parents were not even given a guidance as to, well, how they can try to get that first layer in. And now that teacher and that school is going to make this very crucial decision of, well, we can't pass them on, they shouldn't, but if we keep them here, but we have new students coming in for those spaces, and the amount of work that's needed for me to put a layer, then on top of that, lift that student up to where you have your initial 10 to 15 so they can move on, is beyond my capacity, plus I know they get PA. So you have to really look at the failure of the state to be effective. They have not been effective. And so even while I think about, well, what parents are needed to do, I'm just saying, but where is the guidance coming for what parents are supposed to do? So me or you, we're going to read something, we want to try to learn what is required of us as a parent, but then you have parents who now just to try to provide the physical things that a child needs, the food and the shelter, so much of for them bandwidth that in are doing that. So then as we are here talking, what you need to have is special facilities created to deal with this reality, not pretending no exists, and essentially what they have been doing is to just say, well, go up to the next class, and then become the next teacher's responsibility to try to figure you out. And again, it has nothing to do with the capacity of the child. Nothing at all to do with the capacity of the child. We just have one breakdown in the laying of the first layer on which you can build upon the literacy. And I feel like that responsibility for guidance and for intervention, that with the state, that they begin.
I agree with you 100% more. The majority, I know we got some blame, but the majority of the responsibility is on the state. And remember this, the community, and this is what amazing about this thing, right? St. Alfonso Roman Catholic Primary School, is that community members decided to, because the children graduate from St. Sixth High School will not accept them, that then decided to take action. Now, it has taken at least 5 years for the effort of this community group, because again, once St. Sixth students don't graduate right here and not literate again. So the learning measurement tool, what I use on the learning A through Z, and then check words per minute, accuracy and comprehension for 143 students. Now, they're way past the break time, but this is a conversation we need to have, or we need to continue to have. And I salute everybody where they work state by on this initiative, and then to put into action where it means that all of the people are save the people.
Again, I just want to point out and just quickly say that you have people with far more knowledgeable as to, and I'm sure you've learned from such people where have been in it, have proximity to it, and know all the breakdowns and know all the intricate dilemmas. I think sometimes where then people and then got expertise, because I expertise exists, sister. That's my view. they have expertise, and they better than me could have come here and just lay it out. I don't even know how accurate I am with the vision I have, but this is at least from my vantage point and my experience. This is what I kind of this is where I did see. But people were in it, were spend years in it, got one level of expertise. The issue is that they have been reluctant for throw down the gauntlet. Nobody want say nothing unpleasant about church school management. Nobody want to rub the political directorate wrong. Nobody want offend our parent, and nobody want seem ungrateful to a teacher. But at the end of the day, we have to be conscious that the number one priority is that we can't be the reason why one child not realize the fullest potential as a human being. Until they find stardust, will become conscious somewhere else in our universe, the most unique and precious thing in this whole wide universe, this conscious being that we call our boys and girls. We're not more than that. The stars are beautiful and the galaxies are amazing, but a human being is that stardust becoming conscious, and the responsibility that for now lift that into one being where could completely involve, engage, understand things wrongly, learn, absorb, and fulfill their purpose. And if we feel that the greatest failure we could have as living things, that fulfill that which comes after us. That opinion, that's my view. And so, if we have to have uncomfortable and we have to ruffle some feather and make some people, and we have to reel up and we have to cuss up, but we can't continue like this, because it is not. It can be fixed. It has to be fixed. We have to be better. I agree with you. I don't know if I dare with you that no, if we just bring fire to everything. And I agree with you that one of the problems with parents, and in our past instances when the teachers have had to have industrial action, we've spoken about this, that the problem with the parental authority organization is that the time that a child is in school is fixed. And so the time when a parent active, they come and go. How to make one parental organization get created where kind of comprehensive, not just one institution, but you have one parental organization where they advocate on behalf of students, and to make it be viable and make it sustain. Because it can't just be what we call the PTA thing. That in theory that's supposed to be something where, but it really, some schools have done much better job than others. But for the most part, it's it's really not been a very productive thing. But I do have to take a break. Sister, thanks for the call.
Wait a second.
In Belize,
All right now, Belize, we're kind of short on time, but as I promised, once we get the weather forecast and drop it down, because we were unable to do so earlier this morning, there was a website problem with the National Met Service, but now we're going to forecast, we're going to play it, we're going to just read it quickly, and then we go to a final break. It says our airflow is becoming less moist and unstable. Cloudy skies expected over the next 24 hours. Sunny breaks along with isolated showers or light rain to develop mainly along the coast and offshore. Tonight, skies will be partly cloudy and showers will be isolated. Winds northerly to northeasterly at 5 to 15 knots. Light chop to choppy seas. Wave height about 2 to 5 feet. As for temperatures along the coast, a high of 87 degrees Fahrenheit, low of 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Inland, a high of 92 degrees Fahrenheit, low of 72 degrees Fahrenheit. In the hills, a high of 78 degrees Fahrenheit or 64 and a low of 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Outlook for Tuesday and Tuesday night is for mainly fair weather and showers will be isolated. We're going to take a break and come back.
For 15
All right, we're done for today, but with health and strength, I come back tomorrow morning, Tuesday, for Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, Tuesday morning edition. As always, we salute the crew, Larry G at Creme Radio, at XTV, Mr. Cliff Flores, and our director this morning, Ms. Krista Flowers. Have a great Monday. Stand strong, stand firm. For now, we're gone!
Wake up, Belize. 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 Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show by people. Belize our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. It's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, consent.